What's up, everybody? Tech Chucker here, and I've got a review for you of the Diamond Select Muppets, Fozzie, and Scooter. Now, this just brings back all the feels from when I was growing up. Loved Fozzie Bear, loved Scooter. So I'm super excited to have this. I grabbed these at Toys R Us for $4. This is the white card version, so there's not as many accessories. But it's still a pretty cool set. So let's go ahead and crack this thing open and take a closer look. All right, let's go ahead and start on the articulation. We're going to start with Scooter first. And Diamond Select did a really nice job with the articulation on this figure. Even though he's really small, he has a hinge in his neck, and he can look up a decent amount. You know, it's not great, but it's pretty good. And then he's able to look down a little bit. He's got good side-to-side motion, no issues with that. There's not really any tilt. You're not going to get any tilt out of that, but that's okay. In the shoulder, he has a ball hinge, and he's able to get his arm well above that shoulder, which is pretty sweet. I'm pretty happy with that. He can rotate that arm all the way around, no issues with that. There is technically no upper bicep, well, not technically, there is no upper bicep swivel, but there is a peg joint at the top of the elbow and a single joint in the elbow. In the wrist, he's got a peg joint and a hinge, and this is really small, this hand, so be very careful, but you've got a good range of motion there. It's not too bad. You can move it up and down pretty decent, so I'm pretty happy with that. In the torso, there is some sort of movement there, but not much. There is a waist swivel. That works pretty good. I like that. Moving down into the hips, we've got that kind of standard hip joint. He can do the splits pretty well, so I'm happy with that. He can kick forward a decent amount. It's not quite 90 degrees, but still, that's pretty darn good. I'm happy with that. And he can kick back a decent amount. That's actually pretty good. There is no upper thigh cut, but he can bend his knee. He's got a single joint in the knee. He can get almost 90 degrees. And there is a peg joint, so he can rotate at the top of the knee, which is nice. Down in the ankle, I believe it's a ball hinge, but there's not much range of motion there at all because of that pant cuff. But that's okay. You know, it's still decent. You've got a nice ankle rocker that works pretty good. So I'm overall really, really happy with the articulation. Let's move over to Fozzie Bear. Fozzie Bear has some limitations, but still pretty good. He's got a hinge in the neck. He can look up, you know, a decent amount. Not too bad. Could be better, but he can look down just a little bit. Not much. He can look side to side. No real issues there. And again, no tilt within that. In the shoulder, he has a ball hinge, and he can get his arm just about straight out, a little more. He's got full rotation of that shoulder. No issues with that. There is a single joint a single hinge in the elbow, and it rotates at the elbow. Not even 90 degrees, but it's okay. There is a hinge and a peg in the wrist. Those work pretty good. So you can see he can't really move that wrist up much, but he can move it down a decent amount. So I'm pretty happy with that. There is no torso joints, but you know, that's okay. In the hips, he's got basically peg joints with hinges, and he can do the splits. Not too bad. That's actually pretty good for a little bear like that. You have to twist it to be able to get him to move his leg forward. So there's no knee joint. He's got a hinge in the ankle, works good going back and forward. So he's got an ankle rocker, and it's actually not too bad. It would be nice if he had if he had knee joints, but I kind of understand why they didn't. There's not a whole heck of a lot of room, and that probably would have messed with the sculpt work. Diamond Select did a really, really nice job with the sculpt and paint work on these figures. And if we start with Scooter, they just did an amazing job. This looks exactly like Scooter. The paint can be a little bit messy in the mouth lip area, but the rest of it is still really nice. They sculpted it so good. You can see I've got the rubber band here on still. That's the only thing that's really holding his eyes and glasses on. I may glue those on at some point so I don't lose them, so I can get rid of that rubber band. But other than that, I love it. I think it's great. The jacket looks amazing. It's kind of a shiny, metallic look. just like his jacket. They did a great job with the yellow accents. The pants look great. His shoes look amazing. I love the way that his shoes look. You can see the laces there. I love it when they paint the laces. They just did a great job. This is a perfect likeness for Scooter. Moving into Fozzie Bear, and again, they did a great job with the sculpt. The paint is really quite clean on this one. I love the texture. The texture they did such a good job making it look like he's a fuzzy bear, you know, just like the actual Muppet. This little bow thing tie, it could be a little softer. I wish it was a little softer, but it's painted nice. I just think they did a great job. I really liked it. There's nothing I can really complain about. Maybe the look of the hinges, because it doesn't really match the way the texture. But in the end, I really don't even care. I think it looks so good. Okay, let's go ahead and pull out the ruler and show you just how tall these figures are. Because again, these are the Muppets figures. They're pretty short. Scooter is about 3 3/4 inches, so not very big at all, but still scales really, really well with the rest of the Muppets figures that I've gotten thus far. And Fozzie Bear is about just under 4.5 inches. We'll say, yeah, just 4.5, 4 3/8. So not too big, but obviously not too small. Let's throw Deadpool in to see just exactly how they're going to scale with your Marvel Legends if for whatever reason you're going to do a crossover, which sounds like a pretty awesome idea. Alright, so there's not very many accessories that come with these two, but we get this rubber chicken, which obviously is great for Fozzie Bear. Not any paint other than the 2 dots for his eyes, but it's sculpted nice enough. It's kind of a softer plastic, so you're not going to break those legs, which is cool, and it's a cool little accessory. I like it. The other one that we get is Fozzie Bear's hat, which you gotta have a hat for Fozzie Bear. It's sculpted really nicely. The paint is fairly clean. On the bottom side, there's actually 2 little divot marks for his ears so it sits a little bit nicer on his head, and it actually holds its position just a little bit better. And that's a nice attention to detail that Diamond Select gave us. And you can see it fits on his head really, really nicely. It's not really going to go anywhere unless you're moving him around quite a bit. So it looks really, really good. I'm super happy. Now, you know that this is the white carded version, so I got these for $4. They retail for around $12.99. But it's a really cool set. If you can find these, I would highly recommend that you get them. Either get the full version or the white carded version. They're both, the figures are the same. It's a really cool set. Alrighty folks, I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, go ahead and hit the like button. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. Leave a comment below, let me know what you think of these figures. And until next time, I'll see you guys later.